We ended up getting a massive update on the 50 series of GPUs from Nvidia, which is going to be called Nvidia Blackwell. This is going to be the only thing that we cover today because this is a massive update and I don't want 40 other tabs open to make it impossible for me to focus on what we're supposed to be talking about, because that happens quite a bit if it is not obvious. I'm literally doing it right now. So let's go ahead and start this right now before I get way too off topic. So the title of the article is Nvidia Blackwell, what we expect and what we want to see from Nvidia's next generation GeForce GPUs. So the rumor and speculation is running riot for Nvidia's next generation of GPUs. So here's everything we hope and expect from Nvidia's next graphics cards. The expected release date is Q4 of 2024 into Q1 of 2025. If I personally had to take a wild guess about this, it would be Q4 2024. And it's for the same reason everything else releases in Q4 of every single year. It is a holiday season. So RTX 50 series is probably going to come out a little bit before Thanksgiving, around that time, just like basically everything else. So the code name is going to be Blackwell, and that it's expected to be the RTX 50 series. I mean, what else would it be at this point? Because we have the 4080 Super, we have the 4070 series Supers. I guess this could be like a 4050. I could be incorrect about this, but I'm pretty sure that there's no 4050. Forgot to say to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment.
I hate saying it just as much as you probably hate me saying it, but if I do not say it, 1% of you will actually do it.
Like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. I was gonna say, you're full of crap. Gonna say, dude, there's no way. So anyways, I promise I'm not going to get too far off topic here. There was a new ARC graphics card update I saw a video from PC Centric yesterday regarding an update on those, and they're actually good GPUs now for 1440p. There is a couple of games that aren't really performing that well, like Starfield as an example, but I don't want to talk about that. I'm going to get too far off topic. So the process, rumored to be TSMC 3 nanometer. Nothing stirs up the internet rumor mill quite like speculation around a new generation of graphics cards. Nvidia's next generation GPU architecture is believed to be, be codenamed Blackwell, and is currently the source of much debate in the PC hardware world. While we'll likely have to wait a little while longer before anything official is revealed about Nvidia's next generation of GPUs, we decided to take a look at this opportunity to round up some of the more credible rumors that we've heard so far and discussed our expectations, wants, and desires for the new cards. Now, I've actually seen a ton of rumors and stuff regarding the RTX 4050 series of graphics cards, but hopefully you guys can I probably should start sharing all of them, because it's kind of how YouTube works. You want to cover things before they're even out. It's like Grand Theft Auto 6. You see a bunch of people making videos on it right now because it's going to be coming out. But I don't like doing that, man, because one, it's super clickbait. You have no choice but to clickbait those videos, because if you put in the title rumors, speculation, and leaks, and nobody's gonna click it. And then when you go over all these other articles, you're getting all these views now, but then when the 50 series ends up coming out, all those followers that you gained talking about the 50 series, dude, if none of those sources that you used for the information on those graphics cards were right, it's all the people that you gathered into your community are just gonna be yo, this guy's just literally talking about everything and anything posted on the internet. So I just like covering stuff that's actually a legitimate rumor, and not just some sort of random me saying that I have access to Nvidia or something, you know what I mean? So let's continue here. There is some stuff that I want to talk that I have seen and heard that's really, really cool, but It seems like it wasn't that long ago that we were sorting through the rumored specs of the 80A Lovelace generation of graphics cards, and to be quite honest, it wasn't. A quick look back to early 2022 finds us speculating on some of the potential power requirements of Nvidia's next generation flagship. The card eventually turned out to be the RTX 4090, a possible max TDP of 800 watts or more. Thankfully, when the RTX 4090 did eventually arrive, it wasn't even close to that level of power draw, but with a TGP of 450 watts, it was still surprisingly thirsty. A handy reminder then that while speculation of this type can and often does end up being off the mark, a grain of truth can be often found. While we know little about Blackwell gaming GPUs so far, we do know that the B100 Blackwell graphics card processor for enterprise computing is going to be released in 2024 on the Nvidia slideshow at the Supercomputing 2023 special. What the heck is this? Hold up. Why is this? Because this is a new article. What do you mean of 2020? Published 22 hours ago. Oh my god, did I really just do that? No, it's supposed to stay highlight. Okay. The teaser says, based on official Nvidia slides. Oh, okay, shown at. Okay, I was gonna say, dude, what do you mean? We're talking about 2020, unless it could have been like a 2024 typo. But anyway, okay, so I get it now. I read that wrong. The teaser slides showed the GPU almost doubling the performance of the Hopper H200 and is going to replace the GPT-3 175B interface performance benchmark. Nvidia has remained typically tight. That's what she said, or he said. Nvidia has remained typically tight-lipped about its next generation gaming GPUs, although given what we have so far, it's still possible to gain a decent idea as to where it might be heading with the next generation of cards. So what can we expect and what do we want in the next generation of Nvidia GPUs? You ready for this? Price to go down. We are going to be talking about pricing, as you guys can see right here. We got all these, there's a lot in this article. So let's go over here. Nvidia Blackwell naming scheme. What naming scheme can we expect for Nvidia Blackwell? The previous Nvidia graphics processor generation was named 80A Lovelace after the English mathematician and writer who worked extensively on Charles Babbage's mechanical computer and analytical engine. This new generation of processors is rumored to be named Blackwell, quote unquote, after David Blackwell, an American mathematician who made significant contributions to forgot to turn my Bluetooth keyboard off. I hate how it has that power saving point. I don't know how to oh my god, really? And now I have to re-enable it. Please don't stop recording. Okay, good. Do I have to I really don't. You have no idea how annoying that is. Okay, there we go. Now it's working again. How many of you have that issue with Bluetooth? I really wish there was a way to disable that, dude. I don't understand. I don't understand why Windows has all these stupid features. Oh my gosh, dude. Why can I not disable battery saver? I don't care if my keyboard dies. I just want it to always stay on. You know? So anyways, the RTX 4090 was based around the 80A Lovelace 8102 graphics processor and was later followed by the RTX 4080 based on the 8103, and then the RTX 4070 based on the 8104, before being followed by the RTX 4060 and 4060 Ti variations using the 8107 and 8106 respectively. According to a known Nvidia leaker, Kopite Kimi, which is, at least in my opinion, probably the most credible leaker when it comes down to Nvidia stuff and graphics card stuff, the new generation of GPUs are going to be using the GB prefix and will reportedly be led by the GB202 as presumably the flagship card, and then followed by the GB203, GB205, and GB206, with the entry-level card being the GB2. Ugh, oh my goodness, bro. GB207. Much like the RTX 40. This is why I like video card, because video cards would take all three of these paragraphs and put it into something like this. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. but they wouldn't have included all of this gibberish. They would have just shown the chart. So PC Gamer did show the chart. I'm an idiot. But they wouldn't have done this. This is just time consumption. I have AdBlock installed, so I don't care. If this naming scheme is accurate, the surprise here would be the move away from 04 designation with its presumed replace. Actually, I showed you guys, right? Yeah, I'll show you guys the specs of everything really quickly. There you go. There's the AD and then the GB stuff. Nvidia's lines up its GPU. Okay, so this isn't really so we don't need to go over it. So it's supposed to be called the RTX 50 series, because I know that there's a couple of portions that are pretty irrelevant, and I know this is one of them. I'm pretty sure, at least, because I really wish that there was a way to. Wouldn't that be cool? Oh my god, I just barely thought of a SaaS idea or an extension idea for Google Chrome. Imagine if you could like highlight, like I'll show you guys this. Like, imagine if I could go like this and be like like save highlight or something, and then come up here and be like save highlight, and then come down here and be like save highlight. And then when I go to read the article, like all the stuff that I actually wanted to talk about was like highlighted. That, dude, that's, if somebody is good at coding or anything, or knows how to use ChatGPT for coding, bro, that's a gold mine. I would buy that. I'd pay you for an extension like that. No. All right, so back here. So what architecture changes can we expect with the Nvidia Blackwell? So some speculation has surrounded the possible that Blackwell may use chiplet-based multi-chip module MCM as opposed to a monolithic design. Although as things stand, this rumor seems to be focused on data-centered GB100 Blackwell series cards and not consumer models. AMD already makes use of a chiplet-based design in the RDNA 3 series of GPUs, although this is based around using separate compute I/O and memory dies, not multiple compute dies themselves. Nvidia has so far stuck to monolithic architectures, but a shift towards a chiplet design would make sense in terms of maximizing yields in the long run, as the AD102 die in the RTX 4090 is a rather hefty 609mm squared. Oh my goodness, I actually remembered something that from school. Whereas the GCD used in AMD's Navi 31 is around half of that. So there's your whatever. There's what I just read. So cutting down die sizes would make sense in terms of maximizing manufacturing output and also in terms of GPU packaging. Although AMD seems to have jumped ahead of the game architecturally, if not in terms of actual performance, Nvidia is very likely to have chiplet designs of its own up its sleeve. While we'd like to see Nvidia's take on that chiplet gaming CPU and GPU for ourselves, whether we actually see them in gaming GPUs in this upcoming generation remains to be seen. What processes is Nvidia Blackwell going to use? Rumors persist via Extreme Tech that Blackwell is going to be adopting TSMC's 3nm process node, which, given that the architecture is currently on a generation of cards that use the 5nm process, this makes sense as the next logical progression. If this proves to be true, then the supposed advantages of the 3nm process in terms of power efficiency and smaller die sizes may mean the card uses significantly less power and potentially come in smaller overall packages. That hopefully means that gigantic coolers found on the RTX 4090 and 4080 may no longer be necessary to keep that high-powered silicon running cool and quiet. So I'm just going to say something right now. I I kind of get it, dude. I do understand it, and I could just not say anything right now, but I'm just saying this because it's true. I don't understand why people why people are complaining about the power stuff. I genuinely don't understand that, dude. It's like, I get it, dude. I understand it from a technical standpoint. You don't want to pay a bunch of money for your electrical bill, but dude, like, I'm just gonna put this out there, and I'm not trying to offend anybody that may not make a lot of money, dude. I'm not trying to do that. So that is not what I'm saying here. But bro, if you can afford a 4080 or a 4090 alongside with a CPU that actually functions properly with a 4080 or 4090, which is going to either be an i7 or an i9 or a Ryzen 9 or Ryzen 7. Dude, if you can afford a computer with specs like that, why are you complaining about your power bill? We're talking about a $3,000 computer. And the only time you're going to complain about a power bill is if your computer is constantly drawing a ton of power, which means you're pushing the computer to its limits, which means you're using this computer to play games, which means you just spent $3,000 to $4,000 on something to play video games. And now you're going to complain about the power draw. That doesn't make any sense to me, man. It doesn't make any sense to me. I have another computer over there turned on, like, for just no reason, just because it's a cool backdrop. This TV right here, dude, this TV draws like 800 watts. The TV itself draws just as much as a computer, but nobody complains about TVs. Nobody complains about these high-end TVs that are running at 4K 144 hertz. They just don't. They complain about Nvidia and Intel and AMD about all these massive power draws. If AMD even, I don't build many AMD power draws. There's not many people that want AMD computers. So I don't really know a whole lot other than the 7950X, the 7950X 3D, the 7800X, and the 7800X, or the 7800X 3D. And the 7700 we've used, the 5800X and the 5800X 3D we have used. So GB202, the RTX 5090 probably. So here we go. So we got the 5090. Why is that so hard to say? A hardware leaker, Kobai Kimi, has suggested that GB202, or what we're presuming is the RTX 5090, is going to come with a 512-bit bus, but later ended up changing this prediction to 384-bit instead. Also aligned with a tweet from Red Gaming Tech, which suggested they'd heard the same, though whether that's really two different sources or piggybacking rumors, it's hard to say. That would only match the 384-bit bus found on the current RTX 4090. However, the real gains here may instead come from the rumored use of GDDR7 memory that Samsung has been reporting on, and it with its GDDR7 that can reach a 36 gigabytes per second transfer rate in comparison to the 21 gigabytes per second memory rate of the GDDR6X memory used in the current RTX 4090. Dude, that's a massive jump. That's like almost twice. That's almost twice the speed. So if we get twice the speed of the memory, and then we also get like double, we actually get that 512-bit bus. That's crazy, bro. And I think that they'll do it too, because, all right, so let me make sure that I'm not going to get too far off topic here, or let's continue reading so I don't literally just explain what I want to say here. Assuming that the RAM used in Nvidia's next flagship card is capable of producing similar speeds, this major increase would offset the need for a wider memory bus in the new GPUs, potentially providing over 50% higher bandwidth than the RTX 4090. In terms of core counts, rumors vary. According to a now deleted post on Chiplets via Guru 3D, GB202 was rumored to include 192 SMs with a possible 24,576 CUDA cores alongside 192 ray tracing cores and 768 tensor cores. Just to keep you up to date, the RTX 4090 makes use of 128 SMs, so that's like 30 more, or 60 more. 16, 30, 84, so it's like 10,000 more almost. 128 ray tracing, so that's more again. and then 512. So it's like 200. So I think this is all. I mean, it doesn't seem like so like overly hyped and overkill specs just to get clicks and views. You know, that seems pretty accurate to me. It doesn't seem like. I mean, so those specs right there, at least, like the 512-bit bus, that's like almost twice the amount, and then the GDDR7, which totally makes sense. Like, why would, I mean, Samsung has been talking about this too, and there's no way Nvidia's dumb enough to not include new memory in their graphics cards, especially with Intel going up right now as far as like the quality of their GPUs. Like it doesn't, so there are some games like Starfield that don't run well with it, and there's a lot of other GPUs that don't run well with it, but I don't know, man. I think that, I don't know, I got a little bit off topic there because I got distracted by this photo. So while AMD is, yeah, I forget what I was gonna say. I'm so bad at focusing. It's so, and this is why I'm saying the highlights. I really wish I could have that extension to highlight everything that I'm talking about. That would be so awesome. So we'd certainly like to see RTX 4090 successor continue to put RTX 50. All right, so also pause. So no. All right, so here we go. So the RTX 4080 is very capable card, performance $1,200. It was very expensive proportion. So I know the price is going to go down. There's no way there, because we're not in COVID anymore, and I understand that, like, at least the way I'm seeing this from a business perspective is Nvidia is just like let's use pre-built gaming PCs as an example. We have a company like 4 years ago, they built a computer with like an i9-9900K that was like $600. Now we can get a 14900K that also is $600, but they're still charging the $600 for that i9 that was released 5 years ago. This happens on Amazon. This happens honestly all across the board when it comes down to news, and I don't get it. Why are we selling 5-year-old chips for the same price as the brand new one? It doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, I think that's what Nvidia is doing. They had that really high inflation from COVID, and they've like, okay, well, we built all these cards during COVID that were like super inflated, so we're going to keep the prices here to make back the money from inflation. And now we have the 4080 Super, which I guess technically is worse than the 4080 because they reduced something in the card. There's no like performance difference, at least from what, I mean, we're talking like 1 FPS performance difference. They're literally the same thing, other than one thing. I forget what it is though. But let's jump down to pricing here, because I know a lot of you guys are going to want to hear that, and I'm going to keep getting way far off topic. So we'll see any sort of price correction on Nvidia Blackwell GPUs. And so we reached the $1 million question. What sort of pricing are we going to be expecting for these graphics cards? Okay, let me finish what I was going to say. I swear I'm not going to get too far in here. So now that prices are down, that's why the 4080 Super is cheaper, I'm guessing. And then now, unless we have another COVID breakout, you know, which I doubt, or some other man-made virus, conspiracy theory territory. But so anyways, well, I was about to get off topic. So it's just pre-pandemic levels. Looking at the launch prices of the current cards strikes a reasonable metric to start basing our guesses for the price points of the next generation as well. So it's worth noting that small adjustments have been made to its pricing strategy from some of the more recent cards, like the $50 price drop for the RTX 4070 in response to the AMD RX 7800 XT, or the $999 price tag of the RTX 4080 Super in comparison to the $1,200 original model. While it's unlikely that Nvidia feels too much pressure from its competition to drop prices significantly, it does seem reasonable to think that we might see the next generation of cards coming in slightly under the previous generation in launch price, given that these recent adjustments, at least on the mid to high end, that the company does seem well aware of its enviable market position. All right, so we're not going too far into anything that I'm going to say. So I'm going to say this right now. the 4090 is probably gonna, or 5090 is probably gonna remain basically the same price as a 4090 MSRP. Okay, I don't, because the 49, dude, this, and I'm sure a lot of you watching this, especially up to this point, are aware that the 3090, the 4090, and now the 5090, dude, all these are titans. They're titans, stamped with that Nvidia stamped RTX in front of to sell better. They're just titans. That's what they are, dude. They're not for, and I'm not saying it's not good for gaming, but what I'm saying is it's not aimed for gamers. Like the 90 series are for creators, man. They're for creator, like people editing AAA movies, like whatever, Transformers and stuff. People that are using 3D render programs for people like Pixar, you know, like Cinema 4D, Blender, all this kind of stuff. Video, dude, they're not aimed at gamers. Are they better than a 4080 for games? Absolutely. But we're also talking about almost double the price. At least with the current market, a 4080 can be gotten for like $1,200. As far as I'm concerned, dude, I paid like $2,300 for my 4090. That's almost twice the amount of money for a 4090. That's not that much better than a 4080. The only reason I did that, dude, is because this is what I do for a living, man. I sit in front of my computer all day long making videos and building PCs, but I make videos on those PC builds. so like, it's just an investment for me, dude. I would much rather sit here and wait 10 seconds to render out a 10-minute 4K video rather than sit here and wait 10 minutes to render out a 4K video. You know what I mean? And there's a massive difference between rendering out videos with a 4080 and rendering out videos with a 4090. Or using like these, the Pixar 3D applications like Cinema 4D and Blender and all this kind of stuff, dude. Like you get real-time preview with a 4090, like actual real-time preview. Like you can actually move your mouse around inside of what you're creating. Whereas all the other the 4080, the 4080 Super, everything, even the 3090, with all the VRAM memory and stuff in that card, like you cannot get real-time preview in these applications because they're not powerful enough. So like, it's just an investment, man. But anyways, I'm getting way off topic. Let me know what you guys think about this stuff down in the comment section below. I know we only covered one thing today, but obviously this was extremely long as you're seeing, and I just didn't want to have like a ton of other stuff open and make this video like 7,000 hours long. You know what I mean? It's probably already like whatever, 30. I had to go take my food out of the oven, so I had to stop the recording. I'm 10 minutes into this recording, but the other one was also like 15 minutes. So like, yeah. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.